Friends, you know, one of those things that really opens up options and dialing in your fit on old 90s bikes is making the change over to the modern handlebar and stem world. Now, you little puppy dogs, I've got good news for you. Making it happen is like $9.50 and one part. And because I'm a decent human being who cares about you, I'm gonna give you this information right now without making you wait. This is a quill stem adapter. This is what you need. Now, the premise behind these quill stem adapters is really simple, and honestly, you've probably seen them before if you've clicked on this video, but if you haven't, let me show you. This is a standard quill stem, probably the style that your father or even your grandfather calls the gooseneck of the bike. And the way it stays in place and tightens is just basically through this wedge system here. As you tighten the top bolt, it pulls on this wedge section here, effectively expanding that lower section and wedging the whole part into the fork steer tube. And this quill stem adapter is basically just this without this. This little area here gives you somewhere happily to put a proper stem on. And just like your favorite cooking shows, well, I've prepared something ahead of time so we don't have to waste any time with all the nitty gritty. This has got one of those adapters in it already. We can put any modern bar and stem combo on it, which is what we're about to do. This is an early 90s mountain bike that I've had built up with a few different sets of road bike bars in the past, and lately some flat mountain bike bars. Never being content to just leave a perfectly working machine alone, I'm gonna steal the riser bars from another bike, rendering it completely useless, and put them on this bike. So as I mentioned, this thing has had an aluminum quill adapter from Profile Design. Basically from the beginning, I ordered it the second that I got this bike, and it allows me to just experiment and mess around with different bars as I go. Now, in dealing with these things, I do it a little different than you would like a normal quill stem or even just like a normal threadless stem. Loosen this up a little bit, and then the top cap, which isn't really a top cap. Normally on a threadless stem, you'd loosen this off and take the bolt all the way out. But if you do that with a quill stem like this, you could lose, well, you won't lose it. You might just end up with that little wedge piece sort of stuck in the steer tube. So I'll just pull it all the way out, lose that spacer, and then boom. Adapter is out. So what I should have done there was taken off the grips and all the controls, but I didn't. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, now, and only now, we can put the quill adapter through here. Again, this is just the way I like to do it. Look at that fit, isn't that awesome? There's actually quite a bit of it showing, more than I would like actually. Well, that might not be so bad. I need another spacer. But these spacers are literally just for looks. Oh, I hate that. I can't handle this stack. I just hate it. Obviously, I'm a little apprehensive here of the looks of this new setup, but I've been daydreaming of riser bars on the Rockhopper for a few months now, so I'm pressing on. In my finite wisdom, I forgot to take into account the literal extra rise I was going to have and its effect on the brake cable setup. The front brake cable is now way too short. So I went and stole the front brake cable from the donor bike and made that swap as well.
here, it is really nice to just put something together, like a little swap out of parts that's really simple and easy to do without having to like hound for a certain type of stem or something. Like everything is just kind of readily available. I have some parts. I'm able to just look at something and be like, I'm gonna swap that over. And it's like somewhat calming to just change some stuff out. You get sick of something and you're like, I'm going for it. And within, you know, I'm making a video, so it's taking an hour or so, but like 20 minutes, if you have the stuff. This front cable was a little frustrating, but I appreciate past Eric for making these cables longer. You know, you basically got a whole new bike here. The fit is different, the rise is different. Pretty cool. And all that compatibility, ease, options, everything pops up with a $9.50 part. While the tinkering and part swap process is a pretty calming one when everything goes well, I got to admit, I'm not that satisfied or happy with the outcome of this thing appearance-wise. What I wanted was something that emulates the bikes that my buddy Stridland's Journal builds, and what I got was something that purely emulates it with something missing. It just doesn't look quite right. But even though it didn't come out appearance-wise exactly how I had envisioned, I'll tell you right now, it completely changed the way the bike rides, which is to be expected, but when it's a little more fun to jib around, I can give it that time to, what's it called? When you see something, it starts to not look as bad. Cool. Yeah, third iteration of handlebars and stem on this bike. Definitely more fun than what it was before. Of course, every iteration that I've had of this bike has been fun. It just gets a little old and tired, but having that quill stem adapter in there allows me to take this bike and basically change it into something different all the time without really changing anything but a stem and bars. Okay, for those of you that are still here, I hope you enjoyed checking this out. And if you're new here, you're not subscribed, well, you should probably consider it because we do stuff like this, cool space, whatever. If you've been here for a while and you want to support the channel, there's like a thing down there below. It's called like thanks. You can do it there, or you can go check out spindatt.com and pick through the little bit of merch that's left over. It feels really dirty plugging that, so I'm gonna end the video. And we'll do this again next week. This thing is creaking and popping and making all sorts of bad noise, and I'm pretty sure we can fix it without buying any new parts.